Starbucks and Square, Panera iPads, Valley Music on iPad, writing scripts on the iPad, a new video format, and a dumb burglar. It's Thursday, August 16th, 2012, and this is iWake. I'm Tim Chaten, and this is what's going on in the Apple world today. Good morning, and welcome to another edition of iWake. If you're watching the show today, you'll notice that I'm using a different app to do the video. So I'm picking up Voice TV, which does live switching and gets rid of post-production. Today is my first test of it. Let's see how it goes. First of the day is what is seemingly old news, but important news regardless. Starbucks is investing $25 million in Square. Square is a fairly popular point-of-sale service that is used for food trucks and individuals to check. As part of the transaction, Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz will join Square's board. According to all things due, the two companies said the partnership has multiple components, including the ability for customers to pay with Square. Square's mobile app at 7,000 U.S. Starbucks later this fall. Square will process all of Starbucks United States credit and debit card transactions, which, as you can imagine, will significantly increase Square's scale. And finally, Square's customers will be able to discover local Square businesses from within a variety of Starbucks digital platforms, including the Starbucks Digital Network and eventually the Starbucks mobile payment app. This is a very significant move that will certainly help Square get other big partners. After all, Starbucks trusts Square, so others should too. Another point-of-sale news is Panera Bread. The company I once worked for is now getting rid of those clunky touchscreen terminals and is replacing them with iPads. Or at least one day, I hope they do that. For now, it seems they're adding an additional way to buy things with an iPad kiosk. According to the person who used this, you pay right at the iPad station and then pick up your cup. When your meal is ready, they bring the meal to your table. The Panera Bread was in Pennsylvania, and I would expect it rolls out elsewhere fairly soon. Who knows? This could very well replace the very job I used to work. Kind of interesting. Now let's move on to some app news. First up is Finale Music. I once used Finale Music to compose music in college, but it's been a few years, and I still try to keep up with what they're doing. I evidently missed their very first iPad app launch. Finale hasn't ported over their music creation app quite yet, but they did release a songbook. According to the App Store description, the Finale Songbook transforms your iPad into an interactive music folder so you can play, view, and print music scores created by the entire family of Finale products. Finale is a world standard music notation creation. The Finale Songbook brings this standard to the iPad. The app is free and would have come in handy a few years ago when I was printing out sheet music day in and day out. So there you go. In the film industry, there's this thing called Final Draft. It is the Microsoft Word of script writing. If you're writing a script, you're probably using Final Draft. Well, Final Draft is finally bringing, no pun intended, a version of their app to the iPad. It is coming on September 4th. Here are a few of the features of the Finale Draft Writer according to the company's newsletter. The ability to transfer scripts from desktop to iPad. You're able to create new Final Draft scripts and edit existing ones. Same tab and enter navigation as desktop application. Create and share script notes. Same smart type functionality as on desktop application. Accurate production, script pagination, and display. More features unveiled later on include the character highlighting and table reads, additions, and character development, a quick scene and page navigation with touch slider, AirPrint support, automatic bookmarking of last page read, and search and replace functionality. The app is expected to have a $10 to $20 price tag, a pretty nifty app to have if you do write scripts. Thanks to nofilmschool.com for this awesome information. Next up in app news, I just want to briefly mention that iTunes Connect for iOS got an app update. It is now universal and supports the iPad. A few other things got added as well, but iPad support is the one big thing I want to highlight on the show today. Last up in app news today is an app from, who would have guessed it, AT&T. So AT&T is now doing an app to help out parents, or they're at least working on an app to help out parents. It's according to The Verge here, AT&T is developing software software parents can use to remotely turn off voice and text transmission on their children's cell phones while driving. The video demonstration shows an AT&T marketing manager demonstrating how an iPad app could be used to remotely block calls, messaging, and internet access on your child's device. It also shows how the app can be used to set up email alerts for excessive speeding or to let you know when your child is trying to initiate a call or text message. This is an interesting notion. I do worry about things like this. Parents being too overprotective and intrusive to a kid can be a terrible thing and a scarring thing. So I do worry about how parents will use this to monitor their kids, but it could be a really cool thing if it's done right and if parents address it and use it right. So that's that in app news. Closing out this show are a few odd and end stories. First up, it appears that the Retina MacBook Pro is now upgradable for the SSD component. According to Mac Rumors, Otherworld Computing, otherwise known as Mac Sales, has released a 480GB aftermarket SSD upgrade to the Retina MacBook Pro. However, while OWC's upgrades for the MacBook Airs are price competitive, this one is not as much. The 480GB Aurora Pro 6G has a bit of a hefty price tag. So the 512GB upgrade from Apple is $500, while OWC offers the 480GB SSD for $579.99. Though it appears to be more expensive, this does allow you to keep the old 256 drive that comes with the notebook by default, so you'd have that external storage option. For purchasers of this drive before September 30th, OWC will include the $60 OWC Envoy Pro for free, which is an external USB 3 enclosure for the SSD drive, which will give you a very speedy and very tiny external drive. Pretty cool thing here. Good first step, and I'm glad to see something like this hit the market. More info about this is available at macsales.com. Next up is a new video standard that aims to replace the popular H.264 standard. According to 9to5Mac, the Motion Pictures Experts Group, otherwise called MPEG, called the draft of a new video compression standard known as High Efficiency Video Coding, or H.265. That will be twice as efficient as the current H.264 standard. It is expected that this will be available by 2013. This is awesome news, but I do hope Elgato releases an encoding stick for this, and then Apple adopts this standard as well. If they don't do this, then this won't be a standard at all. Last up in the news today, it seems that the Steve Jobs burglar or robber is not nearly as intelligent as he should have been. He got caught pretty quickly because the devices he stole were powered on, and they had that wonderful Find My iPhone-like service running. Another instance where thieves aren't that smart. Well, that's what's going on in the Apple world today. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you would like to find more information about the show, I do have a website over at iWakePodcast.com where you can get all of that wonderful information. I also do this thing on YouTube at youtube.com/TCHATEN. Also, if you are into the additional things that I do, if you want the scripts, if you want extra content, head on over to iWakePodcast.com/again, where you can get all of that. Thanks for listening or watching today. I'll talk to everyone again tomorrow. Thanks to Moinks TV for this fun little time today. I'll talk to everyone again real soon. Aloha.